Hello there, this is part 2 of my video tutorial of how to play my fingerstyle arrangement of cascadas every time we touch. So we have already gone over how to play basic fingerstyle music and the principles of it, and the chorus, which is the beginning of my piece and the ending of my piece. Now we're going to work on the verses, which you can play as many times as you want because there are four verses, excuse me. I left my piece at a chorus intro, a verse, and then 2 more choruses to finish it. But you could draw this out for any length of time you want, spice it up, change keys, etc. So to deal with this verse, I stuck less to the chord shapes like I did in the chorus, and I stuck more to playing the melody, but obviously still incorporating the chord shapes. So beginning with, I do a little hammer-on the G string from open to the 2nd fret. And when I do that, that's the beginning of the melody line. And I immediately go into the E minor chord. And I just hold the E minor because it's comfortable and it looks like my hands are actually doing something when they aren't. So you could really do that like this. It's all in the right hand. So once again, up close, that starts with a, where's my camera? That starts with a hammer on the G string on the 2nd fret. It sounds like Happy Birthday. And from there, we go to a G chord. But in this G chord, I'm only actually playing the G note on the bass and the D note on the B string with my 3rd finger. And I do a little walk down there, so it goes from the 3rd fret to the 1st fret with my 1st finger to open. Oops, sorry. And just to keep it interesting with the chords, every time I hit that open G, every time I play a melody note, so we start with the E minor, and we go to the G, right? Okay. Now we move back to our D, and instead of playing the full D, I'm just playing the root in the 5th. So that has my A note on the G string. And what I do here to imitate her vocal prowess is I do a little pull-off run. And it goes from the 4th fret on the G string with my 3rd finger, and I pull that off to the 2nd fret, and I pull that off to an open on the G string, all while plucking the D as my bass note. So all that's, sorry. Here's your D, and the pull off. So after that D, we move to a C again. And repeat. Except instead of just playing the root and 5th on a D this time, I emphasize that F sharp on top, because it is the leading tone of the G of the next note, of the next chord. So what I did there is after I moved from the G, D, except instead of going all the way down, I go back up. So that just makes it kind of more interesting there. So I kind of hang on this D note on the D chord. And from here it shifts to a C chord, the C9. You don't need to put this B here because you want to go from the G to the F sharp to the E, right? G to F sharp to E, and then we go to a G chord, which is on the melody we go D to C to B, and then we go back to our little D pull off thing. Back to the C, G, and it goes back up this time. And we're at the D chord again, but instead of playing your D chord, I've moved it up to here. So you get that 5th fret note on top, which is an A, with the 5th of the D chord, except an octave up. So that in all is E minor, G, D, C, E minor, G, D, C, G, D, C, G, to D. And then at that point, we're back into the chorus. I'm sorry. Right. So you get the idea. So without a tab, I've shown you as much of this as I can find a way to do so on a video. Primarily, the best way to learn songs if you don't have music is to sit down with your guitar and find a video and watch the person's hands as they play. Because as you can see, my left hand doesn't do very much. You just have to watch for these little pinky pull-offs. These little pull-offs here. And that's it, and the chord shapes. And these are chord shapes that most beginning guitar players know. So the hard part here becomes watching the right hand and what the right hand is doing. And in my videos, I try to make it very clear. I try to get a good angle on my right hand so people can see what it's doing if they want to learn the songs for themselves. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or send me a message or find some way of contacting me and I'll answer them as best I can. I'm sorry I don't have a tab for this. At some point I'll have sheet music for it. I don't really do tabs. I do standard notation. I never really worked off tabs that much. I either played by ear or I have just learned to read music in the last year or so, so that's what I do primarily now. But once again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thanks for watching my first demo video. Have a good night.